minute to go in the game. But not time to panic just yet. Still over a minute to play. Getting down to the good stuff here. Second down. On the handoff, it's Madison. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Here's 2nd down and 3. They'll run with Madison. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And with that, they're down to 1 remaining here in the second half. Tension building. Here's Greg Joseph. This to almost certainly win the football game. Joseph's got it. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So there was a little meat on that ball, a little more than a chip shot considering the circumstances, but he's able to bang it home in what should be the game winner.
And the key was getting him into a good position to kick from. I mean, if that's a 52-yarder, you're going to have some anxious moments, but kickers nowadays, you give them anything under 40, and they're automatic.
Back to throw. Lawrence escaping the pressure right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. With 1 second to go, this to send us to overtime. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalposts. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
So the Vikings going to get the first chance to possess the football as we are back underway here in overtime. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Now Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down. Cousins again. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Throwing is Cousins. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Off the play fake, Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. Only able to gain a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Throwing, Cousins. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush. And here's Ryan Wright now.
On for a very important punt here in overtime. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, their defense, they did the important thing. They got the stop. They didn't allow a point, but now they're backed up here pretty far, Charles. Going to need a significant drive to try to get into position for the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, partner, don't you think that defense is on the sidelines right now saying, don't come to us with your problems about where you're starting? We did the important part. We kept them off the board, kept us in the ball game. Find a way to maneuver it downfield, at least get into field goal range, and get us a win.
And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light is still on for him.
Now 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Lawrence.
Finds his tight end, Ingram. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Now Lawrence.
Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from home. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
There's a quarterback who's learned his lesson. He's thrown a few interceptions so far. That time he said, I'm making sure nobody catches this one.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
Straight ahead, Etienne. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
One overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. This a 2nd and 8. Etienne once more.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage you gain there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say: get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
And he'll be out of bounds. 99 yards now for Etienne, and he's got a first down. They'll try to run this one in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Etienne up the middle. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.